Before I get started, let me clear something up. The champion is based more on who's the A-list actor at the time, not necessarily who's the best actor.
1970.
The gold standard is Sidney Poitier. He's already established himself as an A-lister. He's the first brother to win an Academy Award for Best Actor.
1971.
Richard Roundtree debuts as Shaft. One bad mother. Damn, I was just talking about Shaft. Anyway, his work wasn't enough to unseat Poitier. Still champ.
1972.
Poitier stars and directs in Buck and the Preacher. Still champ.
1973.
Blaxploitation movies have hit their peak, and Pam Grier stakes her claim to the throne. New champion. And she fine.
1974.
Poitier makes a push to regain the belt, but Grier cements her position with the classic, Foxy Brown.
1975.
Poitier takes another shot. Grier responds with a so-so movie. The momentum shifts back. The new champ is the old champ, Poitier.
1976.
Richard Pryor, the actor, is unleashed upon Hollywood. He releases 3 movies in the year. Meanwhile, Poitier is idle. Pryor is the new champion.
1977.
Pryor follows up a hot year with a comedy in which he plays multiple characters. Meanwhile, Poitier completes a trilogy of comedy movies with his co-star, Bill Cosby. Pryor has the momentum, but after a tough fight, Poitier regains the belt for his last acting role for a while.
1978.
So Poitier pretty much retires from acting. This gives Richard Pryor a clear path to the championship again.
1979 through 1981.
Richard Pryor starts a mini dynasty. Granted, he did not release a film in the first year of his run, but he did release a classic stand-up comedy film. And next, he released his most successful film to date. In 1981, he finally wrapped up his run with Busting Loose. Here's a fun fact. The director of Stir Crazy was none other than OG champion Sidney Poitier.
1982.
Pryor's run is challenged by that kid from Saturday Night Live, Eddie Murphy. Eddie makes his movie debut in 48 hours. Pryor stars in the movie The Toy. Here's the plot of The Toy. A white millionaire buys a black man for his spoiled son. That's what Hollywood was greenlighting back then, buying black men for pleasure. Anyway, it's a changing of the guard. New champion, new reign. It's now the age of Eddie. By the way, the best acting performance that year came from Louis Gossett Jr.
1983.
Eddie follows up with a strong year. A hit movie plus a hit comedy special. Pryor tries to counter with his role in Superman 3, but it's still all Eddie. Still champ.
1984.
The best acting came out of the movie A Soldier Story. While Howard Rollins took the lead in the movie, a young Denzel Washington also staked claim to the championship. But at the end of the day, Beverly Hills Cop was too good, too popular, and too classic. Eddie, still champion.
1985.
The only real challenge to Eddie comes from the movie The Color Purple. And this is despite Eddie not even releasing a film that year. He spent the year trying to keep his old lady out them streets.
1986.
Okay, The Golden Child ain't my cup of tea, but no one else really stepped up that year. I mean, you can argue Richard Pryor's JoJo Dancer was a better movie, but I don't know if it's enough to take the title off of Eddie. Eddie, still champ.
1987.
The age of Eddie gets his first major challenge. Denzel is impressive in his first leading role, and Danny Glover is in the hottest action movie. Eddie answers with Beverly Hills Cop 2 and his second comedy film, Raw. The throne is shaky, but Eddie's still the champ.
1988.
New cats are coming on the scene, but Eddie leaves no doubt of who's the king when he releases the classic Coming to America.
1989.
So Eddie drops Harlem Nights and you're thinking another year at the top for him, right? Well, not so fast. That year, Denzel wins Best Supporting Actor for his role in Glory. Plus, Morgan Freeman's also in the movie, and Morgan releases 2 other films that year, Now don't get me wrong, driving Miss Daisy ain't my bag. This is going to be controversial. Morgan's volume of work cannot be ignored. And all things equal, I'm gonna give it to the brother holding a baseball bat. Morgan Freeman, new champ.
1990.
Just as we're phasing out the age of Eddie, we begin to usher in the Denzel dynasty. Denzel, new champ.
1991.
While Denzel has the momentum, this year can be summed up in 2 words. Nino Brown. Wesley Snipes is the champion. No discussion necessary.
1992.
Wesley has an impressive follow-up. Eddie comes back with a movie where he lets his co-stars cook. But Denzel returns with his signature role. Y'all know damn well I ain't about to slide a movie about Brother Malcolm. Denzel is the champ again.
1993.
The dynasty hits another snag. What's Love Got to Do With It is released. A hit piece on one of the architects of rock and roll. Fishburne and Bassett turned in legendary performances. And just like in the court of public opinion, Tina once again beats Ike. Angela Bassett gets the edge over Lawrence Fishburne. New champ, Bassett.
1994.
Okay, maybe I was premature calling it the Denzel dynasty. Morgan Freeman was in a timeless classic that I've watched about 20 times. Samuel Jackson had the best 10 minutes of screen time that year. And Eddie Murphy put out another Beverly Hills sequel. This one not as good as the first. Even though he was in a co-starring role, I'm gonna have to give the year to Morgan Freeman.
1995.
Morgan tries to hold on to the title by co-starring in one of the best movies of the year. Angela Bassett plays an arsonist, and Denzel goes head-to-head with Gene Hackman. But I'm going to give the edge to Denzel Washington because he also starred in an underrated gem. The dynasty is back on track.
1996.
Not so fast. The dynasty is not back on track. Denzel follows up with a lackluster movie. Meanwhile, Eddie Murphy returns as 5 different people in The Nutty Professor. Eddie takes the belt back. I will make note that Will Smith made his mark that year as well.
1997.
Will Smith will not be denied. He finally steps up to the big stage. He is now the new acceptable Hollywood Negro of the moment.
1998.
Don't want to hear about Will Smith. Don't want to hear about Denzel Washington. Don't want to hear about Angela Bassett. Don't want to hear about Eddie Murphy. One word, Blade, Snipes, champ. A goddamn vampire in here.
1999.
It's a 3-way brawl between Eddie Murphy, Will Smith, and Lawrence Fishburne. But considering that life might be Eddie Murphy's funniest film, I can't deny him of the championship. Eddie Murphy takes the championship into the new millennium.
2000 through 2006.
Okay, we now move into the undisputed Denzel dynasty, a period of time where he has no peers. The brother was in a zone. He starts off the new century with Titans. He then portrays Alonzo and finally lands the Best Actor award that he should have got for playing Malcolm X. In 2003, he didn't even release a movie, but I'm not taking the belt off of him. In 2004, a lot of our actors were bringing the heat, but Denzel was literally a man on fire.
2005.
2005 was a shaky year. Samuel L. Jackson put out a little something, and Terrence Howard was good in his movie. But neither actor did enough to knock off the king. And yeah, Will Smith put out something, but we won't speak on it. It hurt his case more than it helped it. So we're gonna keep the strap on Denzel. Oh, also I want to note that Wesley Snipes pulled this stunt that year. As a result, he received a 5-year ban from holding the title. Wesley must have been feeling himself, probably thinking he was untouchable. And check out the hands. AI got confused. Man hand, woman hands, what the hell's going on here?
2006.
So Eddie decided to put comedy to the side and take on a serious role. And then you had Samuel L. Jackson chaining up white girls and playing around with a bunch of snakes. But I say Denzel was still the top dog even though he took on a co-starring role in this movie. And take note that it was Forrest Whitaker who gave the best actual acting performance that year as he played Idi Amin.
2007.
Denzel versus Will. You could sort of tell that Hollywood wanted Will, but the culture was still behind Denzel. Still champ.
2008.
Okay, Hollywood, you win. Will Smith is the new champion. Honorable mention goes out to Taraji P. Henson for showing her A-list acting skills. We always knew you had it in you.
2009.
This was sort of a chill year. Black folks weren't in anything that really stood out. Now you're probably thinking that I could just give the title to Taraji. I mean, she was in that movie I Can Do Bad by Myself. And apparently they had the sister out here working for minimum wage too. But because I want to avoid any kind of confusion that I approved of the 10 minutes that I could stomach of that movie, I'm going to have to leave the title vacated for this year. Hey, if she would have done Benjamin Button this year instead of the previous year, I would have gave it to her. Them's the breaks.
2010.
Denzel picks right back up where he left off. The new champ is the old champ.
2011.
This was another light year for the heavyweights. I'm going to have to vacate the championship. Or at worst, I can just leave it on Denzel. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Denzel's still champ.
2012.
Denzel is back with a picture meant to challenge for the Best Actor award. But wait, here comes Jamie Foxx with a more popular movie.
2013.
It's time for some new blood. Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan take the stage. After careful consideration, the first champ of the new age is Chadwick.
2014.
Denzel isn't done yet. He's moved on to making easy money doing action movies. Denzel back on top again.
(2015)
Will Smith is on the hunt for an Oscar. Don Cheadle turned in the best performance, but it was Michael B. who captured the attention of the culture.
2016.
Lots of representation this year. It must have been around the time when black folks got on Hollywood's ass for underrepresentation. That seems to happen every 5 to 10 years. The best acting came from the movie Fences. So you're thinking Denzel wins the title again. Nah, actually Viola Davis was the scene stealer in that movie. Viola Davis, the new champ.
2017.
Just when you think the new age is about Chadwick versus Michael B., a new cat steps on the scene. Daniel Kaluuya slides in for the steal. New champion. Kaluuya, I think I pronounced that right. Kaluuya.
2018.
Okay, this is a 1A versus 1B. Black Panther versus Killmonger. There's no losers, just 2 winners. But I can only give the championship to one person. Michael B. had the flashier performance, but Chadwick was the soul of the movie. I'm going with Chadwick on this one.
2019.
Chadwick takes the year off, and this gives Michael B. Jordan the opportunity to slide in and steal the title.
2020.
Chadwick returns and goes head-to-head with 2016's champion Viola Davis. Both actors receive Best Actor and Best Actress nods. Tough call, but Chadwick wins. At this point, I believe that Chadwick was poised to go on a run like Denzel, but unfortunately we lost the brother too soon.
2021.
Will Smith steps into the vacancy and regains the title with his award-winning portrayal of Richard Williams. Right? Wrong. Hell no. Because that same year, Will Smith slapped a man half his size on national TV, and then he sat down like he had just accomplished something. We do not reward that kind of behavior in the BMD. Will Smith is disqualified and receives a 5-year ban from title contention. This year, the title goes to Daniel Kaluuya. By the way, Kaluuya also won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor that year, so I'm not just giving him a gift. The brother showed up.
2022.
Competition was very light this year. Kaluuya did make a return to the screen, but it was nothing special. This year I'm going to declare the title vacant.
2023.
Michael B. Jordan goes back into an old bag. The third movie was better than the second one, but not as good as the first one. You can argue that his co-star Jonathan Major had a better performance. Michael B., champ. On a side note, the best acting performance of the year was from Jeffrey Wright.
2024.
Crickets. I forgot nothing for you. A bad year for movies. Insert your own champion here.
2025.
We could be witnessing the start of a new dynasty. Michael B. Jordan is separating himself from the pack. The brother's got range and he's putting butts in seats. Hollywood loves that. That's all I got for you. Here's the Mount Rushmore of actors. You've got the trailblazer Sidney Poitier. You've got the greatest comedic actor of all time, Eddie Murphy. And you've got the greatest dramatic actor of all time, Denzel Washington. And for that last position, I think few would argue with me. You gotta go with Pootie Tang. That's how I take.